Salutations, viewers, and welcome to this year's final edition of AHS Volleyball on AHS Sports Network on YouTube. Tonight, just like last week, is a CIML Central matchup as your 4-11 Ames Little Cyclones host the best team in the conference, the 16-2 Ankeny Hawks. And we're glad to have you with us, folks. Carter White alongside Ryan Eggert, live from Ames High Gymnasium. Partner, let's not even try to cover up the situation. Ames needs a win tonight. This is one of the last games before playoffs for Ames, and in the first round, they have to play the Jaguars, the same team that they just got blown out by just last week. Ankeny is a huge threat. At the center of their success is Fiona Schrader, a senior who's committed to Notre Dame. There's also junior Ava Reynolds, who is committed to Denver. So with the opposition of two D1 prospects, we're going to have to see something special from clutch players like from Ames, like Madeline Timmermans and Rachel Rossiker, for them to pull off a huge upset.
Yeah, indeed. They'll have to play their absolute best tonight to keep up with this quick Ankeny side tonight. As you mentioned, Ankeny have two D1 commits playing tonight, and Ames will need to find a way to shut them down early if they want to get a grip on this game. If they can't do that, it could be a very short match. Nonetheless, it'll be fun to watch Ames seeing them go into the playoffs this year.
All right, and with that being said, we're just about ready to get it started. Hannah Baer serves it for the Hawks. And we're underway. Welcome to the pink out, by the way, folks. You can notice that Ames wearing all pink jerseys as the first point will go to Ames. You also probably noticed our pink shirts for breast cancer awareness. 1-0 lead for the Little Cyclones. Rossiker to serve for the Little Cyclones. And how about that? What a hit by Ava Reynolds. Very successful right there. And now we're going to see Fiona Schrader, the most dangerous threat that Ankeny has, serving right there. Here's Timmermans. And her kill attempt was blocked. And the ball goes out. And the point goes to Ankeny as a result. Fiona Schrader on the serve. Once again for the Hawks. Buss hits it over for the Little Cyclones. And there's Reynolds who hits it back over for the Hawks. Timmerman's kill attempt is no good. Blanco managed to hit it back over for the Hawks. Buss tried to hit it over for the Little Cyclones. She wasn't able to, and it's 3-1. And Ankeny is already starting off on a run.
Yeah, 3 straight points, and Ames needs to claw a couple back now. Make sure that this hopefully doesn't get too far out of hands. But I'd say still at a reasonable point right now.
Schrader, was that an ace? No, it wasn't. It was too far. 3-2. Ankeny's still up. Buss is going to be on the serve for the Little Cyclones. It's an easy one to hit for Ankeny. As McKenna Scheib hits it over and gets the point for the Hawks. It makes it 4-2. Scheib will be on the serve now for the Hawks. Kapaska on the bump. And Kapaska tried to hit it back over after a set from Campbell, and it didn't go well, and it's going to be a 5-2 lead for the Hawks. The run is already starting for the Hawks, and Ames has got to stop it quickly. And hitting it back over was Blanco that time for the Hawks. Kane too hard as she headed over for the Little Cyclones, and that's going to cause a 4-point lead for Ankeny, 6-2. Scheib so hard that it hit all the way over, and nothing was able to happen for Ames that time.
Nope. Unfortunate, considering now that Ankeny has gotten 4 straight points, I believe. Yeah.
Scheib on the serve. Quick tap over by Reynolds. Campbell hits it over for the little Cyclones. Schrader, and a quick tap over from Eowyn Schrader, but it's quickly saved by the little Cyclones, and there's Reynolds with a huge kill. Reynolds actually leads in kill for the Ankeny Hawks. She's going to be a crucial player heading into playoffs.
Absolutely. She's going to be someone that Ankeny's going to rely on to get points against tough opponents and help them win critical sets in the playoffs.
Scheib on the serve. Campbell, kill attempt. She's got it. It was fantastic how it ricocheted off the player's hands, and then there was no answer for Ankeny.
Yeah. Just a little miscommunication. It looked like they didn't expect the ball to go backwards as much as it did just straight up and down.
When it comes to the game of volleyball, the laws of physics can be your best friend and your worst enemy.
Indeed.
9-3 lead for Ankeny. Ankeny so far giving Ames a bigger run for their money than the Ankeny Centennial Jaguars, as Owlett is on the serve. She almost got the dig but wasn't able to, and it's going to be a 9-4 lead for the Hawks. Sophia Timmermans checking in for the little Cyclones, and Olivia Smalley's going to be on the serve. Wonderful dig by Walters there. She actually leads the team in dig, so when it comes to it, Walters is going to be a key player when it comes to trying to save the kills in this game specifically, when you have people like Ava Reynolds, who is a D1 prospect, and she can hit quite well.
Yeah. You saw how good she was just a minute ago, and hopefully she'll come up with another one here.
Schrader, Fiona Schrader hit it back over. There's Timmermans with the kill. The leader in kills for Ames gets another one to make it 10-5. Walters is going to be on the serve for the little Cyclones. Aggressive serve from Walters. And Bayer not strong enough on her kill attempt. It's going to be 10-6. Little Cyclones making a little bit of a comeback.
Yeah. It's only back-to-back points, but if they're able to stack up, runs of 4 or 5 points, this could be looking good for them. And as I say that, Ankeny and the run.
Well, nobody was there in time for Ames, and that gives Ankeny another point. 11-6 is the score. Richards on the serve for the Hawks. Kapaska, and it goes off of the hands of Foles, and that's another point for Ames. Kapaska and Timmermans both with at least 60 kills. They certainly are going to be big threats in tonight's game. Hopefully they can continue to be big threats, because Ankeny so far has got the advantage.
For sure. For sure, Ankeny have had an advantage there. They're the ones who've got out to this fast start, but what they say, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And if Ames is able to come back and keep it close all the way through the sets, I think they'll be, no pun intended, set tonight.
And Bayer on the serve that time for the Hawks. Kapaska hits it over. What a kill that time. from Schrader. She wasn't even surprised that that happened, folks. She was like, yeah, I was practically expecting it. That is the face of somebody who just expects success from how hard they've worked. And here's Bayer who hits it over on the serve. And how about that block from Schrader? She can kill, she can block, she can do what you want, folks. That's why she's going to Notre Dame. And a timeout is taken by the Little Cyclones. That'll bring us to a timeout as well. Keep it right here. You're watching AHS Volleyball on AHS Sports Network on YouTube. Welcome back into it, folks. 14-7 lead in the first set for the Ankeny Hawks. Make that a 15-7 lead as Ankeny continues to dominate Ames as they have thus far in this game. And we'll see if Ames can strike back. Bayer on the serve again. Kane on the kill attempt. She's got it. It went off of the hands of Foles and too far out. It'll be 15-8. Rossiker checks in for the Little Cyclones. How about that from Foles? And a quick tap over from Scheib, and the point will go to the Hawks. 16-8. Ankeny is quickly looking to end the set.
Yeah. Yeah, they've been the dominant force so far to start. They haven't made too many mistakes, which has definitely helped them get to where they are now.
How about that? Tough hit from Blanco. Ames managed to get the dig. And there's a tough hit from Scheib. She's too hard, and that gives another point to the Little Cyclones, 16-9.
It's a heck of a save from, I believe, Kane on the edge to keep the play alive. It looked like it was going to just die on the outside.
Bus on the serve. That was Reynolds who had the bump and the kill, rather. And it seemed like it was a little bit off the line, or outside, rather. But they gave the point to Ankeny.
Yeah, we're not the ones making the calls, so we don't have any say.
There's Campbell who hits it back over for the Little Cyclones. Blanco on a kill, and it's too easy. And it's 18-9. And you can notice how these Ankeny players, when they get a kill, it's not too much of a party, but that's not a bad thing because they just expect this success from how much they've worked. Of course, they celebrate, but they realize that there's still more work to do. You know, the tiny things all build up together to make the big goals.
Yeah, that's probably how they've got to where they are now. 16-2, could be 17-2 if they continue their strong form that they've had so far in this first set.
Speaking of which, what an aggressive block from Schrader and Blanco. And Ankeny has reached 20 points. Ames only having 9 points. Quite a comeback is needed for the Little Cyclones to get back into this set. And it's not starting off well as Reynolds slams it down, and it's 21-9 in the first set. And Ankeny's just 4 points away from ending this set, which is something at this rate they're very likely to do.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen how well they've played to start. And they'll keep this up. Could be a 3-set game.
Campbell was too strong on her kill. That's going to make it 22-9. Here comes Scheib. Serves it over. And a kill that time from Reynolds. That'll make it 23-9. Just 2 points away now. Scheib's going to be on the serve for the Hawks. Walters with the bump. Rossiker the set. Timmermans the kill attempt. That's 4 hits, and the point goes to Ames. 23-10, and Ames joins the double digits club in this set, but they've still got a lot of ground to make up.
Yeah. Yeah, this is going to require a heck of a run if they even want to think about winning this first set.
Timmermans on the serve for the little Cyclones, way too strong, and Ankeny is 1 point away from this set being over. Timmermans got a little too excited on that serve. That was way, way out.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunate for Ames. They got to cut down the mistakes like that and capitalize when Ankeny does make a mistake.
And that'll do it. Ames unable to return the favor, and it's 25-10, and the first set ends quickly. And now, well, with that being said, there's going to be some ground to make up for Ames, and they've got to do something about Ankeny. They got to improve defensively because so far in this game, Ames has really been getting pummeled by how good the Ankeny offense is.
Yeah. They've gotten it handed to them. And, you know, they started a bit slow out of the gate. You know, granted, I think the closest that the game was at 3-2 and just took off from there. So they got to put a few more points on the board early and be able to start to control the set and be able to shut down Schrader and I believe the other one, which I can't remember the name of. But anyways, they're going to have to change a few tactics to start here.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we'll take a quick break and be right back with your second set. Keep it right here. You're watching AHS Volleyball on AHS Sports Network on YouTube. AHS Volleyball on AHS Sports Network on YouTube. Welcome back, folks. Ames took an unfortunate pounding by the Hawks by a final score of 25-10 in the first set, and they're going to have to really make some changes to their defense if they want to really get things going for the second set.
Yeah. Surprised, though. Ames didn't make too many errors. They just had a couple of unfortunate, should we say, bounces. And Ankeny has not had too many mistakes either.
Rossiker on the serve to open up the set. And Scheib's kill attempt goes out of bounds. That'll make it 1-0. I'm surprised that we haven't seen as many double hits as we generally do.
Yeah.
If I am mistaken, the point goes to Ankeny. We saw double hits all over the place in last week's game against Centennial, and we haven't seen a single one tonight so far.
Yeah. Yeah, the only thing that's really come close to that was we saw one occurrence where Ankeny had a four-hit violation. But, you know, I would have said anybody would be a fool to take an under on a less than, I don't know, 7 double hits in a game, but we haven't seen a single one so far.
There's a kill from Reynolds to make it a 2-1 game. And Scheib will be on the serve for the Hawks. Aggressive serve as Kapaska gets the bump. And there's Campbell. Managed to get the kill. And we're tied up at 2 apiece early in the second set. Timmermans is going to be on the serve for the little Cyclones. Really going to need to see her being active from the standpoint of kills.
Yes. I think where she excels most is in the blocks department. She's the leading blocker on the team, and you know we're gonna have to see her be up at the net, and you know hopefully not making service errors like we saw. I think just one in the first set, but granted, you know they don't make too many errors like that.
And speaking of aggressive kills, that was Eowyn Schrader on that last point for Ames, who actually managed to hit it out, I believe. I believe that's how they got their last point.
I believe that is correct.
Reynolds tried to get that kill that time. It was saved, and Ames hits it too far to tie the game back up 3 apiece. Ouellette's going to be on the serve for the Ankeny Hawks. It's 3-3 in the second set. Ouellette with an aggressive serve as Campbell hits it over for the little Cyclones. There's a kill attempt from Eowyn Schrader. She managed to get it as Timmermans tried to save it, and it went right off her hands and to her left, and nobody was able to get there. It's 4-3. And Ouellette once again on the serve. She hits the net. It's 4-4. This set is so far a little bit more back and forth.
Yeah. Definitely agree with that. You know, I think Ames, the most points they had before Ankeny hit 10 in the first set was 3, and they've already got 5 now with that ace there.
5-4. Smalley was on the serve for Ames. There's Eowyn Schrader. Managed to get the kill. 5-5. Ames so far has been stepping up their game thus far, as they've been keeping the set close, but they got to keep it up. We're still very early in this set.
Yeah, they got to keep it up through the whole set, you know. Oh, can't start to ran out of gas midway through.
Oh, wow. What an aggressive hit from Fiona Schrader. There was no way anybody was getting to that in time.
Yeah. That thing went down faster than a Japanese bullet train. That was insanely quick.
She's got the supersonic speeds kill.
That's the best. I think that's probably the best way we can put it. Super fast.
Speaking of which, a kill for Olivia Harpenow, number 7, the junior, the middle hitter. And it's 7-5. Sophia Timmermans, little sister to Madeline Timmermans, hits it out, and the point goes to Ankeny. It's 8-5. And on the serve this time is Ouellette for the Hawks. Timmermans got the first hit, and it went too far to the right and out of the reach of anybody else from Ames, and wasn't able to be saved. So it's now 9-5.
Yeah, look out for Ankeny. This is probably where they're going to start to try and break away. And of course, as I say that, they hit it into the net.
That was Adeline Goodwin, the junior, number 8.
Commentators' curse is very prevalent on serves.
Yes, I do believe that sometimes it does have a say. However, that is just superstition. There's a kill from Owen Schrader. And heading in for her is McKenna Scheib. Lexi Stevens serves for Ankeny, number 2, a junior. As Ankeny has a 10-6 lead over the Little Cyclones. Walters with an impressive dig. There's a block from the Hawks. And that time it goes too far for Buss. 11-6. Stevens is once again going to be on the serve for the Hawks. And that was just a little exchange of events, and Kapaska just had to lightly tap it over to get the point for Ames.
Yeah, very cheeky move there. And no, it was right where nobody was. Had at least 2 different Hawks from the back trying to get there. Didn't get there in time.
Kapaska on the serve for the Little Cyclones. And there's McKenna Scheib, who tried to get the kill. Timmermans tries to get it. Madeline Timmermans, and she's unsuccessful. Oh, and then Fiona Schrader once again working her magic as she gets the kill to make it 12-7. And right about now is where Ankeny started their long run that eventually ended the set. In the last set, and Ames has got to put a stop to it right here and right now.
Yep. Pretty simple. Well, I should say it's easier said than done. The idea is quite basic, but to try and stop Ankeny would be like trying to stop a train. There's just so much force behind it that you've got to deal with as well.
Ames takes a timeout. We'll keep it here instead of taking a break. AHS Volleyball on AHS Sports Network is brought to you by the following. OBS Studio, free and open source software for video recording and live streaming. Go to obsproject.com to download and start streaming quickly and easily on Windows, Mac, or Linux. And by YouTube Live, bringing you live streams on youtube.com since 2008. Want to stay up to date with all things AHS Sports Network? Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at AHS Sports Network. Facebook coming soon. And we now enter back into the game. Ankeny with a dominant performance thus far over the little Cyclones. And Ames has got to try and stop the run right here.
Yep, tough task, and it's going to take every player playing at their absolute best, or the best player on Ankeny hitting it straight into the net. They'll take that.
The PA announcer called it a block from Timmerman, so I'm not sure which it is.
I don't know. It looked like she hit it straight into the net, but now it's a point for Ames regardless.
I suppose it's all about perspectives. And that one right there, Reynolds didn't even need to try that hard. Nobody from Ames was able to get there in time. It's 14-8. Schrader's going to be on the serve. Fiona Schrader. Walters gets the first hit. Bus, what a save. Kapaska, can she get it all the way over? Yes, she can. What a save from Kapaska, but it's not going to be worth anything as Scheib hit it over hard, and it ricocheted right off of, I believe, Walters. And it went too far that time. Nobody was going to be able to save that one.
Yeah, I think it went about 3/4 of the way up the wall towards that flag hanging up on Ames' side.
Smalley with a very hard kill attempt, but it went too far. Went all the way to the Ankeny bench and could have popped a knee. Fiona Schrader on the serve for the Ankeny Hawks. Bus hits it over for the little Cyclones. Reynolds hits it over. Walters the dig. Bus tried to hit it over and it was blocked. And too far on the, I could have sworn that was out.
That looked out.
That looked like it was out. They gave the point to Ames.
Maybe there was a very slight deflection, and it must have been so soft that we didn't even detect it.
Perhaps so, but that
was a good couple feet out.
Little mistake from Lexi Stevens cost another point, and it's 16-10. Ames only got to this many points in the last set. We're going to have to see if they can increase that more. Stevens hitting it over. That time was Richards for the Hawks. And there's Campbell with a kill. And the comeback has started for the little Cyclones as they make it 16-11 on 3 straight points. Bus on the serve for the little Cyclones. That was a kill attempt from Reynolds. It was a soft hit over. Point will end up going to Ankeny off of the ball going out on Ames' side. Scheib on the serve for the Hawks. Walters hits it over, and are we going to have our...
It looked like well, I don't know what the official ruling is called, but looks like they lifted the ball up.
It's 18-11. Timmermans hits it over. Mine was on the... Oh, how about that block from Timmermans? It's going down, and she's yelling timber. 18-12. Madeline Timmerman, she can kill and she can block. That's what you should expect out of somebody with her height. Oh, my word. Ava Reynolds with more sonic zoom in the kills. Gives Ankeny another point to make it 19-12 and quickly end the momentum that Ames had.
Basically said what I was going to say, granted. But, you know, still got a little bit of time for Ames to come back. Got a little bit of a long ways to go, but
Kapaska, and there's a point for Ames off of some miscommunication, which is a good thing for Ames because if you let Ankeny get into their pattern, it's very hard to get them out of it and come back.
yeah. Yeah, you're absolutely right. We saw how Ankeny went on long runs in the first set. They haven't really done too much of that. Ames has been able to keep them mostly in check so far, should I say, as play goes on.
And there's a kill from Richards. And Ankeny enters the 20s. And Ames has got to really make something happen right here in order to keep Ankeny from getting 5 more points and putting Ames in a 2-0 set deficit. Serve comes from Richards, who just got the kill. Campbell hits it over for the little Cyclones, and Harpanu tried to get the kill. And there's a kill from Campbell instead for Ames. 20-14. And Caroline Walters, as you might have been able to see on that play, continuing to get impressive digs. Speaking of Walters, she'll be on the serve. Fantastic hit over. And there's a quick tap over from Fiona Schrader. Doesn't take that much to get a point, as Schrader just showed us.
It really doesn't. No, she's been on a lot of the points tonight for Ankeny. Granted, she is probably their best player, I would say. As we mentioned, she's committed to Notre Dame, so that's a pretty high honor.
Harpanu managed to hit it over for Ankeny. Here she goes again, and it's too strong. Walters was able to recognize that as she was the one closest to it. Could have been a very different result if Walters had thought a little bit differently.
Yeah, but you don't want to get into a mindset going where all balls that land very close to the line, we'll just call them out, like we saw Centennial do last week. They love to call that ball out before it landed, which, as I said last time, it's a very dangerous game that you'd be playing with that.
Ankeny was just rewarded a point. Speaking of hits that are too strong, there's a hit that's too strong from Smalley, and previously there was a serve that was too strong from Kapaska, and it's 23-15. You have to learn how to hone in your strength instead of being too strong. You also have to know how to put enough power into it as Bayer hits the net on her serve.
Mm-hmm.
Rossiker is going to be on the serve for the little Cyclones. Fantastic hit from her. Point goes to Ames on a double hit.
Well,
First double hit of the night.
Yeah, I was going to say, first one of the night. We've been waiting a while for that one.
Last week's game against Centennial was practically infested with double hits.
Yeah.
Point goes to the Hawks, who are 1 point away from a 2-0 set lead. Fiona Schrader on the serve for the Hawks. Way too far. It's going to be 24-18. Ames coming in close, but they are going to need 6 straight points.
At the very minimum, they're going to need 6 straight points to force sort of the deuce situation, should we say, or you got to get 2 in a row.
So far, it's working as Reynolds isn't able to hit it over, and it's 24-19. But it only matters if Ames can capitalize and take it all the way. Bus on the serve, too far, and Ankeny takes the set.
Well, It's something about that commentator's curse, and it struck both of us tonight. Oh. Well, not a bad set, I would say. Ames was very much in that one as opposed to the first set. They were very close to Ankeny. Granted, they did let them get a little far out at times, but they were able to start reeling them in.
And now at this point, Ames in a situation that they're very familiar with at this point. All three of the broadcasts that we have done, Ames has had a situation where they are down 3-0. Unfortunately, in all three situations, they weren't able to bring themselves back.
Down 2 sets, rather.
2 sets, yes.
Yeah. Down 2-0, and I don't know. It's been a while since we've had a 4-set affair, which was against Johnston, which I think Johnston got first 2. Ames got third, eked out a third one, then eventually ended up losing to Johnson in 4. Hopefully, I'm hoping that they'll get a 4th set, because the way that they've played, especially in that last set, is very good. They were able to keep them within check. You know, they only lost by 6 points as opposed to 15. Suggests good things to come.
It's ultimately going to depend, like I said, on how much they can stop Ankeny's excellent offense, which has been really the main prospect as to why they've been able to be as dominant as they have been so far in this game, but also some great blocking as we've seen from Ankeny. So ultimately, all around, they're just going to need to be more of a threat.
Yeah. You know, the blocking for Ames has been good as well. You know, it's just the fact that Ankeny's been able to find those gaps that the Ames players haven't been able to reach over and retrieve the ball that's coming down to the floor extremely quick. But, you know, anything can happen in this third set, and hopefully the outcome that we're a bit familiar with doesn't occur. But, you know, sometimes things repeat themselves. Hopefully today isn't one of those instances.
Just about ready to get back into it. Set number 3. We're only about 20 seconds away. We hope that this isn't our last set, but if things continue to go like they are, more than likely that's the results we're going to get. Ames down 2-0. We're going to have to see if they can make some real changes real quick to stop Ankeny from getting the win.
Which is going to be a very tall mountain to climb if they want to do that.
Byer on the serve. Walters with an excellent dig, and there's a kill attempt from Reynolds, and that was also saved. Too strong from Bayer, and that's going to give Ames the first set, or the first point of this set, 1-0. Rossiker on the serve for the little Cyclones, and it's on a 1-0 lead. Oh, there's a hit over from Reynolds. I think that was going to go too far out, but someone from Ames still tapped it.
I think Rossiker just got a little bit on it, and that's kind of it. She had the face of instant regret of doing that. But, you know, still very early in the set. Long way to go.
Fiona Schrader on the serve. Here's Timmermans on the kill attempt. She just does it lightly, and it's not going to be enough. Scheib hit it over for the Hawks. Buss wasn't able to get down there for Ames, and it's a 2-1 lead for the Hawks.
No, it seems like there's been a few instances of a miscommunication or a lack of communication from Ames. No, I'm sure they've worked on it, but well, they didn't need to worry about that there, as that one was just shot straight into the net.
Seems like Ankeny has a little bit of a tendency to hit the net when they are getting the serve. Could that potentially be something that another one right there from Reynolds? Could that potentially be something that ruins certain things in playoffs?
It could hurt them because, you know, those are kind of carefree points that you're just giving to the other team. And, you know, it's kind of, it won't help them, should we say? But if they're able to extend those leads and get into those big leads and on the big runs, it shouldn't be too much of a problem, but it's definitely something that they want to look after heading into the playoffs.
Oh, what a block! Ankeny with Eowyn Schrader, the brick wall, and it's 4-3. Eowyn Schrader, honestly, this entire game has been blocking excellently.
She has. I know. And she's just a freshman, so you're gonna see 3 more years of her doing that. If she stays with the team, which I imagine she would, considering her older sister is graduating with a very big commit.
Blanco hit it out on a kill attempt, and Ames got the point. Here's Timmermans on the serve. It just barely makes it over the net. Eowyn Schrader on the hit over. And there's Smalley who hits it back over for the Hawks, and that ball goes way too far out. That's going to be a point for Ankeny. It went off of Madeline Timmerman's hands. It's 5-4. Ames is still managing to keep this a close game. They've just got to try their best to not let Ankeny go on a run.
Right. That's what's been kind of the thorn in their side. They've been able to give up these big runs that they just haven't been able to come back from. And as we did not edit the point there, now the score is correct now.
We're tied up at 5 apiece as we've got the potential for a fantastic set right here. Ames thus far fighting back. With everything they've got, there's a little something from Ankeny. Walters was on the dig that time. Excellent save from her. But this time it's going to be Harpenu who strikes back for the Hawks. Gives them a 1-point lead. It's 6-5. As Adeline Goodwin checks in for the Hawks, and she'll be on the serve. First hit is by Harbaugh for Ames. Timmermans hits it over. And Ouellette, it went off of her hands, and it's 6-6.
Yeah, just took the ever slightest of deflections. I think it was going to bounce in regardless if she hadn't have touched it. But certainly the deflection didn't help matters.
Walters with an aggressive serve. And a light tap over by Harpenu. Oh, and what a block. Once again, it's the Schrader sisters being the brick wall, and Kapaska wasn't able to do anything in response. Lexi Stevens on the serve for the Hawks. Harbaugh gets the bump. Smalley with the set. Kapaska with the kill attempt. Saved by Goodwin. And there's Fiona Schrader, whose kill attempt was saved and busts. Oh! She was blocked by Fiona Schrader. Fiona Schrader on a kill attempt again. The aggressive kills at supersonic speed from the Ankeny Hawks continue. Folks, you better watch out. If you blink, you'll miss it when it comes to a kill from the Ankeny Hawks. Lexi Stevens on the serve. Kapaska. Once again, the infamous blocking of Ankeny saves them. And there's some blocking from Ames. Kapaska, and nobody's able to get there for him, Ankeny, and it'll be 8-7. Now, if Ames can tie up the game right here, that'd be something.
Yeah, that would be. I think the first box checked for them is to make sure that, you know, we haven't seen Ankeny get out to a lead larger than 2 points so far. But as I say that, of course, it happens. But regardless, Ames has kept Ankeny in check, and you know, this is good heading towards the end of the season and into the playoffs for Ames. It shows that they can compete against the higher competition.
Bayer on the serve. Madeline Timmermans wasn't able to get there in time, and it's a 10-7 lead for the Hawks. Now Ames has got to be strict with themselves. Right here, right now, they got to stop Ankeny.
They do.
Bayer on the serve. Kapaska the bump. Smalley the set. Madeline Timmermans with the kill attempt. It's saved by Stevens. There's a kill attempt from Fiona Schrader, and it hits the net 10-8. Once again, that infamous hitting of the net from Ankeny when they should have gotten a fantastic kill from Fiona Schrader and gotten the point. It hits the net.
Yeah. You know, I'm sure that's something that Ankeny's going to want to clean up right before they enter the playoffs. Also because against tough competition, those are points that you don't want to give away. And especially heading towards, you know, state semifinals. I think they could, with the way that they've played, that they could definitely get that far in the tournament.
Rossiker was on the serve, and that time it's a block from Timmermans. 3 straight points for Ames to tie it up at 10 apiece.
Well, how about that? Is that the longest run that Ames has had?
I believe it might be.
It's either 3 or 4. It would be a stretch to say 5.
There's an aggressive kill attempt from Reynolds. That's going to go out off of the hands of Ames, and it's 11-10 just when Ames had a chance to take the lead. Ankeny, once again, just being the team that they are, wouldn't allow it. Goodwin on the serve for the Hawks, and rather it's Fiona Schrader. Walters, and it goes out. They're going to call a double hit on Walters. It's going to be a 12-10 lead for the Hawks. Right when Ames seems like they've got it going, Ankeny gets a little something going themselves.
That's what the back and forth nature of this game has really given us. You know, we've seen the best from both teams, and probably not the best from both teams, as that serve went out of bounds by good margin.
Speaking of which, there's Fiona Schrader, who was too far on her serve and gave the Little Cyclones another point, and it's 12-11. Bus is going to be on the serve for the Little Cyclones. Fantastic serve by Bus. Quick hit over by Scheib, and here's Campbell on the kill attempt. It's blocked. Rossiker, Campbell again. It was managed to be saved by Bayer. There's a kill from Reynolds, and she makes it a 13-11 game.
Did you say 14 or 13?
13-11.
Okay. I thought I misheard you there. Disregard that.
Scheib on the serve. There's Walters who hits it over for the Little Cyclones. Another kill attempt.
Into the net again. Let me tell you. I don't know. That's probably, I would say probably 6, 7 at the maximum that they've done it this match.
That was Aylwin Schrader who tried to lay it down quickly. Campbell tried to do it as well. She wasn't able to. Reynolds not able to either. What a dig by Walters. She's been digging excellently tonight. Campbell hits it back over for the little Cyclones. Oh, and how about that? Little snake eye trick to give Ankeny the point, 14-12.
Yeah. We saw the 3-hit rally going on there, and Ames, I think, was expecting a set there, and instead they give up a point to Ankeny, but nonetheless, close game, long ways to go.
Ouellette on the serve for the Hawks. Walters gets the first hit. Major miscommunication from Ames there. Rossiter and Campbell weren't able to determine between the two of them who was going to touch the ball first.
Yeah.
Or who was going to get the set, rather.
Yeah, a little miscommunication, but no. Ames, they might need to cut down on a few of these miscommunications, but I wouldn't say it's a huge problem. I think one of the bigger problems they have is being able to stay close to teams. But this game, they've achieved that.
Great effort from Ames, but not enough, and it'll give Ankeny the 4-point lead, and another timeout is taken by Ames. And with that being said, we'll take a quick break and be right back. Keep it right here. You're watching AHS Volleyball on AHS Sports Network on YouTube. Welcome back into it, folks. It's 16-13. Mine shares it over for the Hawks, who have the lead. 16-12, rather, is what the score is. Now it's 17-12. Too far of a hit for the little Cyclones. And a 5-point lead, the biggest of this set, is taken by the Hawks. Kapaska with the kill attempt. Fantastic save by Stevens, and Fiona Schrader managed to hit it back over for the Hawks. There's Campbell. Tried to get a kill for Ames. And right there, Richards was trying to lightly tap it over, and it backfired on her.
I think backfire is probably the best word you can use there. There was an unfortunate mishit.
Smalley, who has always been serving aggressively. And now Ames once again closing in on Ankeny, like the pattern we've been seeing. A quick run from Ankeny, and then Ames comes back, and then that cycle repeats over and over again.
Yeah.
Smalley, who has been serving aggressively so far tonight, and that one was way too far from Richards, and that's going to be a 17-15 game. Once again, Ames getting closer and closer. We're going to have to see if they can capitalize there. Smalley, and she hits the net on her serve. It's 18-15.
I haven't seen too much hitting of the net from Ames as compared to Ankeny tonight. Definitely a plus, I think, from last week. They had a couple too many into the net.
Goodwin to Walters, Smalley, Sophia Timmermans, and I'm not really sure how that is.
4?
Oh, well, as a matter of fact. I'm not exactly sure how that's the right call.
Yeah, I did it look like it was blocked and then came down?
Even if that was the case, that wouldn't be the correct call.
Right. I thought it was a net violation at first because of how close to the front of the net they were. But, you know, considering that Ankeny just got another point, this could be the run that wins them the match.
Very well could. Whoa, there's Harbaugh, who on her dig was able to hit it all the way back over off of a ricochet, and then nobody for Ames is able to get to the ball, and it's 21-15. Goodwin on the serve for the Hawks. Harbaugh with the bump. Quick hit over by Kapaska. Just because the word is kill doesn't mean it has to be aggressive.
Right. That was very precise hit. Very precise location that she wanted that. Right down in the front corner.
What a block from Kapaska. And that time, a little bit of a game of hot potato near the net. And unfortunately, Ames lost. It's 22-16. Lexi Stevens is going to be on serve. There's Walters. Kapaska with an aggressive kill attempt, and it was saved, and that one's too hard from Harpanu. It's 22-17. Alexa Kapaska will be on the serve for the little Cyclones. There's Mine. Fiona Schrader quickly hit it over. And how about that kill from Timmermans? And the streak and the pattern continues as Ames continues to get closer to Ankeny, but they got to break the streak here in order to keep this game going.
Yeah. They're going to need 4 consecutive points to tie it up. And you can't give up more than 2 in a row without getting to a tie situation.
Fantastic attempt to save the ball. Oh my word. Ball is still alive after all these attempts, and that bus got that kill. And it's 22-19. Impressive kill from Ireland Bus.
That was a very impressive rally there. You know, just how many times we thought it was going to drop in. Ankeny had players running over each other. Ames had a couple of times where they ran over each other, but Ames prevailed there.
Oh, wow, that's an unfortunate mistake from Harpanu. And it's just a 2-point game, 22-20. 4 straight points from Ames. There's Kapaska. Stevens. And then Goodwin hits it back over. Sophia Timmermans and another point to Ames, and it's a 1-point game. Ames down just by 1 after being down by 6 recently. They score 5 straight.
Well, there's your biggest rally of the match for Ames so far. Rather, biggest consecutive streak. And as soon as I say that, it's broken by none other than Fiona Schrader.
And there goes the momentum that Ames had. Fiona Schrader not even having a reaction, as Ankeny has a tendency to do. Stone cold, ladies and gentlemen. Bayer on the serve for the Hawks. How about that dig from Kapaska? The ball's got to go too far. And Ames is and Ankeny is 1 point away from the game being theirs.
Yep, match point right here for Ankeny, and who knows? It might be Schrader to finish it off.
Bayer on the serve. Timmermans hits it over. Bayer. Oh, what a block, but it's out, and the ball went out, and it's 25-21, and Ankeny's gonna win it, 3-0. And the closest set was this one easily, but unfortunately Ames just wasn't able to get it done.
Oh, they gave a valiant effort. I'll say that. They played way better those second and third sets, and I think that's a sign of good things to come. And hopefully we'll see that kind of form in the playoffs when they're playing against another top tier opponent such as Ankeny Centennial, who they'll have next Thursday, I believe. I might be wrong about that, but it was a good measure up, and even though they lost in 3 straight sets, I think there's a lot of positives to take away from it.
Absolutely. Instead of taking a break, we'll just go right into post-game thoughts. Well, on this pink out night, Ames, and not to mention in all 3 of our AHS Volleyball and AHS Sports Network broadcasts, Ames loses by a score of 3-0. What are you thinking of Ames's? What do you think about Ames going into the playoffs?
They've gotten better from first game to second game to third game. And tonight was, a sign that they could play well against a top-tiered opponent. Granted that Ankeny may have let their foot off the gas a little bit in that second set and allowed Ames to get closer. Even though they won, I think Ames can look at this and say, well, if we played like this, we could probably try and take down Centennial. But, that'll be difficult considering Centennial has always had a good volleyball team, and they made it to state. I don't know how many times, but a lot.
Yes, I think that Ames is just going to have to really lock in and just mentally be in the game in order to have some good hope going in the playoffs. They enter with they have a record of 4-12 right now, and Ankeny has a record of 17-2 off of this win tonight. This is going to be a very tough run for Ames if they want to go all the way and win that state championship.
They got to take it game by game, set by set, point by point. Centennial is going to be their first big roadblock. After that, who knows? Who knows? It'll be another good opponent, and it'll be another better opponent after that if they're able to get at there. But I think they got to be reasonable and look at the first game and focus on that. And then whatever happens after that, if they get through, then they can start focusing on the next game. But you can't really focus on getting all the way to the final until you actually get to the final, really, in my mind. You got to take it step by step.
Yes, and with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for our final edition of AHS Volleyball on AHS Sports Network on YouTube for this year. And it ends with Ames losing to Ankeny 3-0 off of a dominant performance by the best team in the CIML conference. And we have one more AHS Sports Network broadcast before we take a hiatus until basketball season, and that is this Friday. Due to the conditions of the COVID-19 pandemic, we are being allowed for the very first time to broadcast home game playoffs. And it's going to be this Friday, a football game. Cedar Rapids Jefferson comes to town to take on your Ames High Little Cyclones. We hope that you can all be there, and it's going to be a great time, and we're looking forward to our very first playoffs broadcast ever. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, for all of the AHS volleyball fans who tuned in this season, thank you for your support. We hope to see you next year. We hope that you subscribe to the channel and push the bell to be notified whenever we go live. And with that being said, that's going to do it for this final edition of AHS Volleyball on AHS Sports Network on YouTube. I'm Carter White.
I'm Ryan Eggert.
The voices of your Ames High Little Cyclones, signing off.